What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Now that Bleach is over, I got something to get off my chest. Another segment of unanswered questions in anime. I need y'all's help because I can't figure it out. People I'm talking to, they got some guesses. Ain't nothing guaranteed. Peep this. I was thinking about it yesterday, but I was like, you know what? This will make a good video opportunity. Let me communicate with everybody out there. See what other theories have arisen. In Bleach, first of all, Bleach is over. If you haven't seen it or read the ending, go read the ending, please. It's kind of lamish, but it is what it is. End of a series, end of a saga, end of an era. So, Ichigo. All throughout the anime and the manga, he has Zangetsu. And in the last saga, what was it called? The 1,000-Year War? Quincy's versus Soul Reapers again. It's revealed that Zangetsu isn't actually a Zanpakuto. It's his Quincy powers, and that old man Zangetsu was actually Yuash when he was young. That was like Yuash in his younger age, so just like him and everything. And Zangetsu was suppressing his Shinigami powers. Because, Ichigo's dad is Shinigami, Ichigo's mom is Quincy, and the hollow comes from Aizen infecting her when she was pregnant with Ichigo. So the big thing that I'm confused about is when Ichigo was fighting Aizen, Ichigo's dad comes in and was like, I'm going to teach you the final move for Zangetsu. The final Getsuga Tensho. My boys, how did that even happen if this whole time Ichigo wasn't even using the Zanpakuto? Remember when the Zero Squad came down, homie was looking at it, he was like, I make every Zanpakuto. I know every Zanpakuto out there. This is not a Zanpakuto. I don't know what you've been using. He says that. I might have to go double check that. But if he doesn't say that exactly, he says something to the effect where Ichigo's Zanpakuto couldn't be recovered like he did with Renji's. It had to be a newly built Zanpakuto. Because again, he never had one. Bearing that in mind, the fact that his Shinigami powers have never actually been utilized, how did Ichigo's dad know about a final Getsuga Tensho? Ichigo should not have even had that if that was the case. And also, the only Zanpakuto that, there can actually never be two of the same Zanpakuto. That's something they've stated early in the show. With the exception of Hyoden Maru, who gets passed down from generation to generation, every Zanpakuto is completely unique. So again, that definitely conflicts with Ichigo's dad never even should have known about a Zangetsu. If that was Ichigo's dad's sword, it couldn't have been what Ichigo was using. Because you can't do that. So the fact that he teaches him about a final Getsuga Tensho and that it actually works, the Ichigo's dad, clearly he probably knew about the Quincy power, but he couldn't have known that was the Quincy power inside of him that he's been using this whole time. Nobody could have really knew that, right? Ichigo uses Bankai. There's still the question of his Shikai. Nobody else always has their power in Shikai mode. Theory there is that Ichigo can't control his Rietsu, so it's just always in that release state. But now, it's like it was always in that state because it wasn't a Zanpakuto to begin with. So, big question here is, Ichigo's been using his Quincy powers the whole time, up until the 1,000-year arc where he finally realizes that's the Quincy inside of him. They built him a Zanpakuto. It's two swords. Similar to Shinsui. One is a long sword, one is a short sword. Where it's like, one is the Quincy power, one is the Shinigami power. Use them both in tandem. But, how did Ichigo's dad know to teach Ichigo these moves if he was using the powers of a Quincy this whole time? That still boggles my mind. And the fact that when he goes in, he meets Zangetsu, who isn't a Zanpakuto. And he does everything that his dad said would happen. His dad isn't a Quincy, so he couldn't know about that either. His mom is 6 feet under. She couldn't have told him because she's too busy being dead. That sounds a little harsh, but it is what it is. Let's be real. We didn't see her barely at all throughout the season. After the first 10 episodes, you barely get a mention. No honorable mention towards the end either. Well, I guess from Ishida's dad, because he kind of, whatever. That's a whole another video, another day. But, just please, can we figure it out? I don't know what makes sense here. Ichigo's dad should have had no way of knowing how to use any of Ichigo's powers. They don't have the same sword. That's impossible. Ichigo wasn't using a Zanpakuto. He was using his Quincy powers, and the Zangetsu he's been talking to was the Quincy inside of him, suppressing his Shinigami powers. And it's also rumored that the hollow version of him was also really his Shinigami power. And that's why whenever Zangetsu couldn't do something for him, he would let the hollow teach him a lesson and then pop back in and suppress that power. That part I don't really believe. The hollow's the hollow. I don't think, and nobody's Zanpakuto can be a hollow. That just makes no sense. You got the Vizards. Even their Zanpakutos aren't just like hollows. And then, if we go non-canon, you have the Sword Beast arc, where they summon people, they summon all the manifestations of Zanpakutos. Zangetsu definitely gets summoned, but he definitely isn't a Zanpakuto. So again, conflicting interest. I feel like the last arc just threw more questions into a melting pot and barely provided any answers. You feel me? Like, Zangetsu got summoned from a Zanpakuto that summons other Zanpakutos, but it summoned a Quincy instead. A lot of stuff up for debate there. A lot of unanswered questions in this anime. Please, if you got a good theory or if you have some solid foundations, I would love to get a conversation started. Because, like I said, I've gone back and forth with a lot of people and they're like, well, it does this, this, and this. And I'm just like, but how did Ichigo's dad know? How did the Sword Beast come apart? How did, when he talked to the Zero Squad dude, he clearly mentioned he never made a sword for Ichigo, yada yada. The list goes on and on. But what do y'all think? Ichigo's powers, Zangetsu, how did his dad know? Final Getsuga Tensho. I love any theories, comments. All of it can go down below. I'm going to be live in that comment section with y'all because I'm genuinely curious about this one. But just like this video and the banging beat in the background, my videos, they always fire. They straight up fire. This is my Zanpakuto. It ain't the Quincy powers. Psych, I lied. It's neither. It's all full bring. I'm a human full bringer.